So every hero, if we break it down, every hero needs to get value with their cooldowns. And if you're not getting value with your cooldowns, you're not really doing anything, right? So like the cycle of Overwatch, you go in with cooldowns, you use your cooldowns, and then you get out. And the goal is to get as much value with those cooldowns as you possibly can. What's going on, guys? Coach Aaron here, and today we're going to be looking at I think he said that he's Silver 1. He's a Silver 1 tank player. I did look ahead just a tiny bit. He is playing Sigma for some of this game, and then he switches to Orisa. So it's going to be a little bit of a variety VOD review, but I think it should be good. This is Silver, so we're going to be looking at some of the like really core fundamental stuff. But we're going to see what happens. I mean, obviously these vary case to case, but before we do get into this, I just want everyone to know who's watching this. I do have a Discord and like a small Discord community, and the link will be in the description. Look, we got a ton of people that are passionate about this game that want to learn. In that Discord, you can ask me questions. You can, post VOD reviews, and the community can VOD review them, or I can VOD review them. You can have discussions, just chats, just general things. So if you are passionate about Overwatch and you want to join a community, check that out. The link will be in the description. But let's just jump right into it. All right, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Let's get to the first team fight. All right, so we're talking the matchup between Sigma and Reinhardt, right? This is going to be super simple, okay? Reinhardt wants to be in your face and up close, right? Sigma does not want that. Sigma wants to poke from afar, from at least some whatever distance, a medium range distance. So the matchup is don't let Reinhardt get in your face. So like Rock is a good way to do that. Also just general like spacing, positioning, think about those types of things. Okay, but perfect, right? Reinhardt gets in our face, we throw a rock at him, we say no. So, and then there's Sigma Shield can be used a couple of ways. You can, one of the best ways to do it and to help win the tank matchup is actually throw your shield behind the Reinhardt so that his support can't heal him, because often supports can't heal through shields, right? So they're playing, it looks like Kiriko Zen. So Zen Harmony Orb, right? I'm pretty sure it breaks when they're out of LOS, and that includes a shield. I believe so. I could be wrong on that. But Kiriko heals can't go through the shield either. So you can always shield off the Reinhardt from behind, right? So just put it past him. That is just a little bit of a tip. So let's talk about this. So we shield. Let's see. So I like this rock here, right? Because Reinhardt gets in our face, we say no. But the shield, do we really need the shield? Not yet, right? Well, like we're not taking a ton of damage. We still have quite a bit of health. But I think that we can, say that was okay for the most part. And then another thing to be aware of is just, where are your supports playing, right? We don't want to be out of LOS of them. So just a good habit to get into would just be turn around and make sure you know where your teammates are, especially your supports. But let's talk about, let's see this. So what is our shift ability good for, right? Our shift, or our little sucky suck, whatever you want to call it, it absorbs damage, okay? Damage is coming into you, that will absorb it, and then depending on how much damage you absorb, you get shield, or armor, or what, I don't think it's armor, I think it's shield. Or overhealth, or whatever it is. You get extra health, okay? And that's really important for Sigma's survivability. If we're using our shift when we don't need to, there's a good chance we're going to die. Okay, so did we need shift here? Probably not, because look at our health. It's at full, right? We have 550 HP. There's no need to shift. Now, there are certain things that shift can't suck. So if a Reinhardt's swinging on you, you don't need shift. It's not going to do anything. So that is something to keep in mind, but we want to make sure that we're using our cooldowns properly. So this shift is a little bit, not the best. We rock, that's good. When Reinhardt gets in our face, that's good. And then the only other thing that I'm going to be looking at is, so like, just from what I'm seeing right now, I can see we're gonna need to talk about our cooldown usage. We're gonna need to talk about our positioning because we ideally want to be a little bit closer to this corner, right? Corners are really helpful. Yeah, you start taking damage, all you have to do is back up. You get supported from your supports wherever they were, right? Like if they're behind you, and then you can peek back, right? You really want to be making sure that you're playing those corners. That's going to be with a lot of tanks, as far as my knowledge goes. Yeah, so that fight kind of just, right, not much. Rock Sigma did a little bit of damage on the squishies. That's good. Or not Rock the Sigma, Rock the Reinhardt. That's good. This is good. All right. Now we're just spamming, right? This is what Sigma's good at. Spam, spam, spam. Okay, and then do we need the shield? Probably, like, it's okay, I would say, just because they're running Hanzo. So it's at least somewhat acceptable, right? But maybe throw the shield up just a little bit more, right? To help your Sim, because she is playing pretty aggro. And then shift at full health. Did we need it? Probably not. If we go back, same thing with this rock. I don't think we needed this rock. Like, I like this. I like the spacing because this is a really good, like, choke to just spam down. So I don't mind that. Just kind of spamming the squishies. That's usually who we want to be spamming anyway. Let's talk about our rock. Right, so, like, did that rock accomplish anything? Not really. Not really. I mean, did it get us alt charge? Sure. Yeah. Okay. But rock is pretty important for Sigma's survivability, right? All of his cooldowns are going to be allowing him to survive, and that's why Sigma can survive so long. So we want to, you know, make sure we're not just spamming things. Like, for example, wouldn't it be nice to have rock right now? Right? Reinhardt's in our face. Don't want to get slammed by that. And then, on top of that, we use our last cooldown that allows us to stay alive, which is our shift when we're at full HP. And we get barely any overhealth from that. So, not the best cooldown usage. I like this shield because if we look, right, here's their supports. They no longer can support the Reinhardt. Right? Unless they rotate or unless they get, you know, break shield or whatever. So, but I don't even think that you were intentionally trying to put it behind him. But it unintentionally was good, right? Yep, there we go. And it'd be nice to have rock, but it's okay. And then here we're just kind of shooting Ryan, right? We're kind of shooting Ryan, where there's at least there was a nice Hanzo right over here. Now he's right here. So let's see what happens. So we miss our rock, and look at our HP now. What ability do you think we could use right now to save our life? Yeah, I'm going to give you some time to answer. We want to be using our shift here, right? Our shift would be amazing right about now. Or shield in a second if we can get it. So we get shield out, which is really good. Reinhardt's in our face. Now, if we had got shift off, we would have some overhealth, and we might be alive. Because Anna's here, and she's still supporting us, correct? So, that is the downside of using your shift back here. Let's wait for it, wait for it. So we use it here, and then look at the cooldown. It's a 12-second cooldown. That's a long cooldown. You need to use that correctly. And then here, we're shooting tank again, when we could just be shooting these people, right? That's what Sigma's really good at. Put pressure onto their backline, right? You shoot these guys, they back up. And what happens is when they back up, they stop healing Reinhardt. And guess what? Reinhardt dies because the rest of your team is most probably shooting Reinhardt. Now, if you are also shooting Reinhardt, you're not really helping, right? Tanks want to be shot at. That's what they're good at. They're good at being tanky. And because we use shift, we cannot survive here. So I have a feeling we're going to die. Yep. All right, next fight. Yeah, we're talking about a lot of things, but right now, cooldown usage is pretty important. Another reason that we could talk about this here, why did we die? Well, not only did we not use our cooldowns properly, we also had no cover, right? If we played here and spammed from here, at the very least, we can go like this and stay alive, yeah? When the team was here, of course. So, just something to think about. Yeah, we talked about cooldown usage. We talked about a little bit about positioning and a little bit about target priority. These are going to be your big things that I'm assuming that we're going to need to work on, but let's see what happens. All right, now right here, this is a pretty solid position, right? We have cover, right? If we need to back up, we just go over here and we can see the enemy team. This is okay. Yeah, just keep spamming. Just keep spamming. That's good. Do we need rock? Probably not.
Thank you.
Now, what if we had rock right now? Right? So we don't want to just be spamming out cooldowns. Got to be careful with that. Now, this is an okay shift. Because at least this time, you actually have taken damage. I don't know if it's going to save you, though. Yeah, so our shift barely gave us any overhealth because we didn't really suck anything. Right? Because we can't suck a Reinhardt hammer. So, if we had not used rock earlier, we probably wouldn't be in the situation. Now your Ana is hitting a nice anti-nade. Unfortunately, he stays up. And then boom, yeah. So we get shattered. Yeah, so that's a good rock, right? That's what rock is helpful against in this matchup. Yeah. But unfortunately, it's just too late. All right, next fight. Actually, before we go next fight, I'm just going to clarify. We died here because, again, we used our cooldowns not the best, right? We didn't have the best cooldown management. Our positioning was okay. Not the greatest, but it was okay. We're a little close, right? But because we used rock earlier, this Reinhardt was able to swing on us really, really easily. And our Ana's over here trying to support us. I would prefer to see us back up this way, or even roll out this way and just play here, right? This is probably a little bit of a better position for you. But the biggest thing I'm seeing right now, definitely cooldown usage. So I'm going to fast forward. We already know what happens. Obviously, we get shattered. It is what it is, right? I mean, we could shield it if we're fast enough, and we know that, but I don't think that that's something you really need to worry about just yet. Yeah. And funny enough, when we play Orisa, cooldown management is going to be a big thing too. Just like Sigma, Orisa stays alive by using her cooldowns properly. Okay, so we got Nano. So again, rock doesn't really accomplish anything. Now, there's an argument that if we hit the soldier, we might be able to get a kill. So that's a little bit more understandable, but you have to remember that Reinhardt is very dangerous, right? Especially up this close. So rock is something we want to be saving it for. A little bit of mechanics. Now, the only thing that I don't like is we see the Kiriko here. Why did we not go after her, right? She's in our space, like very much in our space. Let's at least push her out, right? We kind of took a shot, it missed, and then we just kind of ignored her. Yeah, we want to make sure that we're getting her out of our space. Now, I don't mind this. Unfortunately, we miss our little pebble rock things. That's okay. Stay Transcendence. It is what it is. Now, yep. So that was good. You missed it, but that's okay. The intention was there, and that's what's important. So that was a good rock. That was one of the cooldowns, like one of your first cooldowns. I actually liked. What's the word I'm looking for? You used the cooldown well. That was good. You may have missed it, but the intention was there. All right. Yep. And we just Reinhardt's low, anti. So now we can try and go after him. It's okay if we don't kill him. Now what do we want to do here? Oh, okay. Well, we just get burst down, but probably want to shift there if we can, or throw up our shield. Another thing to think about is just, your shield, right? It's deployed right now, and it's getting low. We could probably,
Barrier is nearly spent.
Retract our shield earlier. Because, imagine if we retract shield earlier and we have it now, right? Then we can throw out shield, and we might have stayed alive. But more important than that, our positioning just, we don't have any cover, right? We want to be next to some sort of natural cover. Natural cover is your free shield. Think about it that way. Yeah, if you're here, no one can shoot you because no one can shoot through walls, right? So just think about your cover, your positioning. Try and position a run cover, even if it means up here next to this thing, or right here, or up here or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. Just have some sort of cover that you can back behind, because when you do run out of cooldowns, you're gonna want cover. But also use your cooldowns right, because that will keep you alive longer. So if you can kind of combine those things, you're gonna stay alive a lot longer, and you're gonna get a lot more value throughout the team fights. All right, so okay, this is where we switch to Orisa, right? I'm not a tank player, but from what I hear, tanks are kind of a rock, paper, scissors right now, right? Lots of switching, lots of counter picking. I know from what I hear, Orisa is good into Reinhardt, but let's see. Orisa is very similar in the sense that her cooldowns are what keeps her alive, okay? So we got to make sure that we're using our cooldowns properly. If we just go in there and we spam all of our cooldowns, there's a good chance we die. All right, so now we're just kind of regrouping, right? We're not completely regrouped, so you got to be a little bit careful. Oh, that's unfortunate. So we just got to be a little bit careful, right? We don't want to get too aggro here, because we got to make sure that we have our team with us. Okay, so we go for a spear, and we're kind of, again, tunneling on the tank. So just be a little bit careful about that. There's a lot better targets to shoot than the tank, right? I know it's like tank v tank matchup, whatever, but no, there's much better targets. But we go for a spear, we missed. Okay. I don't really like the spear, to be honest. It didn't really accomplish anything. Even if you hit the Reinhardt, what is it going to do? What did it realistically accomplish, right? And then, so I like that we're playing this corner. This is what we want, right? This way, you can hold this space. All you have to do is hold it. You just have to make sure that they don't get to walk through your team, right? So your job is to hold this corner, because this corner is a powerful position for your team. And then try and secure kills, right? And then your team can use the space to secure kills themselves. So hold the corner. We're a little bit, yep. Now our brig goes in deep, so okay, well, I don't know what our brig's doing, but okay. Yeah, our brig went a little bit deep. Yeah, but back to corner, right? Okay, and then, so, like, this spin, javelin spin, right? I'm glad that we're going after Hanzo. That was good. I'm glad that we're like, oh, Hanzo's low. We might be able to kill him. But when did we use Fortify? Did we just use it? Oh, we used it here. I missed that. Yeah, okay, let's talk about this. So we spin for what? Nothing. Right? I mean, there's no need to spin there. You don't need to put someone out of position. It didn't really disrupt anyone. We just kind of spun. Just to spin. And then again, right? Why are we using our Fortify here? Fortify gives us overhealth, but we're at full HP. Right? Javelin, again, just kind of throw out. Now, all of our cooldowns are gone. So what I'm assuming is going to happen is we're going to die. Because one, we have no cooldowns to keep us alive, but two, we're away from our cover. Right? We can't back up and be like, oh, heal me supports. Right? Where are our supports? Okay, actually, I mean, this is good for me, Kiriko. But where's our Anna? She dead? Oh, we have, Brig. That's right. Brig's right next to us. I'm dying. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Now, we could sit here and say, yeah, our supports are throwing whatever, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what we can control. We can't control what they do. All we can control is what we do. And we are wasting our cooldowns. So now we finally talk about this. Did this accomplish anything? No. Now, imagine in the next couple of seconds when you start taking damage, what cooldown would be really nice to have that just sucks up a bunch of damage? Javelin spin. Yep, javelin spin. Look at that. We took a bunch of damage. Now, we backed up to the corner, which is good. Okay, spear in the sidewalk. The corner usage was good here, right? Obviously, we strayed a little bit, but we did back up when we needed it, which was good. That's really important. Now we can get healed up. Now, okay, yeah, so they're just doing things in your backline. Now you have, what, Amora? So you're getting healed, which is good. Yeah, so I think you're trying to spear the Hanzo. I'm okay with that because Hanzo was out of position. It can almost secure a kill if you hit it. I'm okay with the intention there. The spin and the fortify not needed, right? Ryan's dead now. Maybe you were fortifying because you saw him charge. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. So fortify, I understand. Spin probably not needed. Now we have no cooldowns. Now, luckily for you, the team fight is already won, so it's not likely that you're gonna die because of it. But just because it worked doesn't mean it's good, right? We want to make sure that we're using our cooldowns for what they help us do, and in this case, they help us stay alive. Obviously, fortify can be used to displace people and like push them out of position. There's other uses for it. Did I say fortify? I meant javelin spin. If I said fortify, that's not what I meant. Javelin spin can, displace other people, and it has its uses, but typically, yeah, it's just going to be used to keep you alive. Now, we're still at good health, so I don't want to see too many cooldowns used. Okay. Spear, again, not the best spear. We want to use it on good targets. And, like what value did that get, right? So every hero, if we break it down, every hero needs to get value with their cooldowns. And if you're not getting value with your cooldowns, you're not really doing anything, right? So like the cycle of Overwatch, you go in with cooldowns, you use your cooldowns, and then you get out. And the goal is to get as much value with those cooldowns as you possibly can, right? Did we get any value with this javelin spin here? Ready? Let's talk about what kind of value can we get with javelin spin. Javelin spin, it sucks up damage. So value means we can eat a cooldown. It means it could keep us alive. And also, javelin spin can displace enemies. So if there was, like, let's say you caught Reinhardt out in this corner, like, let's say Reinhardt's right here, and you're right here, you could javelin spin him in the corner and bully him, right? So it can get value by displacing someone. It can get value by keeping you alive and eating cooldowns. So let's see what happens. So we spin. So we very minorly displace the Reinhardt. So that is some value, correct? But is it good value? Not really, right? Because we didn't really accomplish anything with it. So now we have to wait 6 seconds before we can use it again. So okay, fortify, right? We don't probably need here, but look at this opportunity that arises. What do we see? What do we see right here? Right, we see both of their supports, right? Some of the best targets that we want to be targeting. Okay, and we have the spear, which is going to be a great way to secure the kill on one of those targets. So this is a perfect opportunity for us to spear, and then possibly get, if we hit the spear, do some damage to the support and get a kill. Right? But what do? We kind of shoot a little bit. We go back to Reinhardt. And then we spear the shield. And we use fortify when we don't need to. So if we break it down again, let's talk about fortify. Right? What value can fortify get? Fortify gives you over health. Right? So if you're low, you'll get some extra temporary health, which is very helpful. It also stops any sort of CC. So if you're, about to get charged, or you're about to get frozen from May ult, or anything like that, right? So that's the type of value that we want to get with it. So we want to use it to its fullest extent. So were we low? No, we had lots of health. Did we stop any CC? No. Oh, and I'm pretty sure that you can't get headshot. You can't get headshot while you're in fortify. So, there's some value there. But this is the thing. Again, we used a cooldown with practically no intention. So it's like we're kind of just throwing out our cooldowns for no reason, hoping for the best, right? Then it's going to really be a gamble, right? So, fortify. We get a little bit of extra health. Cool, but we didn't really need it. Yeah. Not a lot of value. Not a lot of value. Close to none, right? Okay, a spear, luckily for you, you get some value with that, right? And now we get a kill for that. So look at that. So this is what we want to talk about. The one time that I'm seeing, and the one time that we hit a good cooldown and got value out of it, we actually secure a kill because of it. So this is like positive feedback, right? You use your cooldown, you get value with it, and then you get rewarded for that. Now, what if we had okay, Arissa. What if we had Fortify here, right? Would be nice. So we wouldn't take all that damage from that pin. Now, was that a good E? Javelin spin. Was it? I think it was, right? Because at least it kept you alive. At least it kept you alive. And it does a tiny bit of damage to Reinhardt, and look at how low he is. And he's low because he's not getting supported because he's behind the wall. And then ta-da, and then now we should fortify. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. We're getting value with our cooldowns. We're low. We need the extra health, so we use fortify. And because of that, look at it. We're getting kills. We're securing kills. We're securing eliminations. We're winning the team fight. I mean, I think we might lose this because I don't think we have any supports. But we lasted longer than we should have, correct? And we spear. We miss. It's okay. So we may have lost that, but the cooldown usage there was at least somewhat better. So can you see the difference between some of the cooldowns you used before and some of the cooldowns you used later? All right, let's keep going. Staying. Now, what should we be thinking about? What's the one big cooldown that we got now? Well, we got our ultimate, right? That's what we should be thinking about. We should be thinking, how can I use this? How can I use this ultimate to get value?
My ultimate is charged, ready to engage.
All right. What? I'm not. Okay, what do we think about that spear? I'm not gonna go in super in depth. Not the best spear, right? We got no value with it. All right, and then positioning. What do we think? We're right here, right? Where should we be? Where would it literally, like, just about any place would be better. Here would be a little bit better because we got some sort of cover. You could play this doorway, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What does matter though is that you have cover. You don't have any cover, because if you're gonna, especially if you run out of cooldowns, you're gonna need some cover. So we can push up to this wall, and now we can play this cover. If we look at what our Reinhardt did, look, he's playing cover. Now, maybe it's on accident, I don't know. But, yeah. So, this is a decent position. And what do we think about this? E? Do we get anything with it? No. Okay, so E sucks up, I think, maybe a couple Hanzo arrow. Maybe it doesn't. I'm not really sure. So, but still, we didn't get a ton of value with it. We probably want to do it better. And then we fortify. No, this is an okay fortify at the very least, because I know we're about to go in for ult. So, like, at least you won't get displaced by a charge or anything like that. So, and at least you've taken some damage. Now, ideally, we want to use it when we're out of this orange health, right? This orange health is our armor. You have damage reduction in that section of your health bar. So when that goes down, then you probably want to use fortify, right? But at the very least, there's some value. You at least used it when you had already taken some damage. And then we ult. Yep, and then, so they Suzu it, right? So we probably want to hold our ult just a little bit longer. This will be something a little bit more advanced, and I don't think you need to worry about it too much. But if you know they have a Kiriko, right, you can wait. Right, we only used that 88%. Now, it got a lot of value. Look at how much damage you did. Look at everyone's health bar, right? That's good value. So that's a good ultimate. So I'm not going to say it's not. I'm not going to say it's a bad ultimate. But we could probably wait for Suzu just a little bit longer and then use it. And I think they die. Just straight up die. But we got value because there's a lot of pressure that just came out of that. Unfortunately, they Transcendence, but that's okay. And yeah, so like let's talk about this E. What could we have done right about here? right? And I think you kind of went for it. The execution was a little fumbly, but this would be a time where you can use your E to really displace someone, because you can push the Reinhardt into the room, kind of like you did, and now he's away from his team, right? He's away from his supports. This Reinhardt should die. Same with the soldier. They should die. They should definitely die. Yeah. So, okay, it happens. It is what it is, right? But I think that E was. Let me look up. Let me look at it again. It didn't get a ton of value. It didn't. I think if your plan was to push the Reinhardt in the room and isolate him, I think that's a good, well-intentioned E. If it was just used willy-nilly, then I'm going to say no, not the best E, right? That I can't tell you. That's really up to you. You're going to have to decide that yourself, because only you know your play. All right, let's keep going.
Reevaluating.
All right, spear from downtown. That's it. Is what it is. You're not going to need it in the next couple of seconds. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! We use our cooldowns, and we get value with it. And because we get value with it, we secure a kill. That's a good spear. Good job. Good job. Good job. That's a good spear. All right. I'm hoping that by now you're starting to see, right, what's going wrong. Right? We just pressed every single one of our cooldowns. We should die for this. We're going to get discorded. We're going to take a bunch of damage. Or not. You should be taking damage. But I think look, you should have died for that, but your Bastion is over here on the flank carrying, right? Yeah, we definitely should have died for that. Definitely. Yeah, this team fight's over. But we didn't really do much other than get a kill on the soldier and a kill on the Kiriko, which is good. So, yeah, but that fight was kind of won for you. It's okay though. Like, it's not bad for a team fight to be won for you. That's normal. That's gonna happen. At the very least, you distracted them, right? That's kind of your job as tank anyway. Okay, that was a well-intentioned spear. It's okay that you missed it. I'm not gonna fault you for that one. Yeah, and we want to kill this guy. We want to get him. Ooh, yep. We want to avoid that if we can. So the good thing about Orisa is as soon as you stop shooting, the meter, the overheat meter. Sorry, I should be more specific. We want to avoid our gun overheating. And as soon as you stop shooting, that meter goes down immediately. So we're right about, so we're, kind of shooting right about here. We should stop. Just stop for like a couple seconds. Recollect yourself. Let it go down a little bit and then shoot. And I bet you this Hanzo dies. Right? But another part of the problem is if we look at our aim, I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. All right, so let's look at our aim. So we are just holding left click and we're just trying to get our mouse over to him, right? You see how many shots we missed? Now, I'm not one to really talk about mechanics because I think with time that will get better. But what you want to be doing here is it's called trigger discipline. You don't want to just be holding left click to shoot. What you want to be doing is when you know that you're so far off, like, let's see. So like there was really good. But like, hold on, like this, right? We're not even close to him. We should not be holding left click. We should let go of left click, realign our crosshair, right? So let go of left click, realign it, then left click a little bit more, and then as soon as we start missing again, let go and then start. So it's called trigger discipline. This is a small thing. I'm not gonna fault you for this. So I don't think this is something you should worry about too much, but it is something to think about. If we had managed our resources a little bit better, instead of just holding it down, right? I think we could have secured this kill. Kiriko saves him. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. And get him and fortify and spin. See, perfect. That was good fortify, good spin. Look at that. We eat 2 fire strikes, and do we stay alive from this? Maybe. Yeah, well, we stayed alive a lot longer than we should have. and that's really important, right? The longer you stay alive, the more damage you're absorbing, the less damage goes onto your team. So that's really good. Those were good valued cooldowns. Now, could our positioning have been a little bit better? Could we have positioned here instead of way out here? Well, yeah, of course so. But that's okay, right? That's just the important thing is that your cooldowns were used well, and I think that's what we really need to focus on.
We've lost possession of the robot.
But positioning is going to be a big one. So positioning and cooldown usage, that definitely. Okay. All right, what do we think about the C? Was it good? Did it suck some damage up? Yeah. Right? Did it help your team? I think so. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure. We can go back.
2 minutes remaining.
I've got you in my sights.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't think they needed it, but I think the intention was there. It's better than some of the E's that we saw earlier, right? Okay, what do we think about our fortify? Did we take some damage? Yeah. Now it could have waited just a little bit longer, but I think it was again well intentioned. And then so let's talk about why we died, right? We could have used our cooldowns a little bit better, but what else got us killed? Was it our cooldown usage? Maybe, right? We probably could have used it just a tad bit better. Hold on, my cat is trying to turn off my computer. Cora, get down. Sorry, guys. I don't want my computer to turn off mid-video. We could have used our cooldowns a little bit better, but why did we get killed here? I'm going to pause it. What's wrong with this picture? I'm going to give you a little bit of time to answer. Yeah, and honestly, like, pause the video, answer, and then I'll give you what I think the answer is. Okay, so we died here because look at this. Look how far away we are from this cover. Now, if we were just a little bit closer to the corner and we were playing here, could we shoot the soldier from this position? Yes, yes, we could. So we can do everything that we were doing over here at this position. So everything we did here, we could do the same thing here. But the benefit of this position, check this out. Ready? You start taking damage. You come back here and you hide. You say, I'm low. You know, I need healing, whatever. Then you get healed up and then you peek the corner again. Boom, 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 boom. Now, it's funny because, like, when you start to take damage, I can see you thinking about it, right? You're like, oh, I need to get out. I'm low. I need to get out. But because we were far away from the corner, because we didn't play the corner well enough, we died. Now, if we had stayed alive just a little bit longer, this Moira ult may have saved us. So, was our cooldowns a little bit better? Yeah. Were they perfect? No. But ultimately, what got us killed there was our positioning. Okay, we have ult again. Now we need to be thinking about that. How can we use our ult? Okay, what do we think about the E? Do we need it? Probably not, right? Probably not. Also, like, what are we backing up for? I'm not really understanding. We want to be holding this position. You took a little bit of damage, got Discord, but we don't want to be backing up. Especially because, like, as soon as you see your Bastion over here, as soon as you see your teammate in, right? Now, we could group up, so maybe you were waiting for the supports, and if that's the case, I think that's smart. Maybe your Bastion's feeding, right? But you might have been able to help him. I think he's dead anyway. So if you're backing up because you're waiting for your supports, I think that that's smart, and I think that that's the right call. But if your supports were here, and you saw a Bastion out like this, go help him. Go help him. Now, don't feed. Don't, you know, if he's way deep, you know, if he's like way over here, that doesn't mean just run over here and help him, obviously, okay? But, yeah, it's a judgment call that you have to make kind of on the fly. Like, can I help this Bastion? Because you want to be playing with your team. And it is what it is. He dies, right? But your supports are here. All right, let's go back. Let's talk about our cooldowns. So we spin. Not a lot of value, right? Okay, I think the Javelin was well intentioned, so I'm not gonna fault you for missing it. That's okay. Because it was a good intention, right? If you spear him against the wall, maybe you help your Bastion a little bit. Fortify. What do we think? Right, probably not the best because we have a lot of HP right now. We don't really need it. We don't need that extra HP. We don't need. We're not like canceling out any sort of crowd control, right? We're not getting pinned. We're not getting. I mean, there's no May, but if there was, we're not getting frozen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That spin is a little bit more acceptable. That spear probably not the best, but again, we died because we got really far away from our corner. We kind of went way over here, and we tried to come back when we should have just stayed here. As soon as we see the Bastion die, maybe we just back up here, find some cover. If we need to back up more, we can play here or play here, right? You don't really want to play bot because it moves and it's not usually the best cover if it's moving, but you could, right? Just any cover would be better, right? Because we're playing with none, so.
My task is not yet finished.
Yeah, and what do we think about the E? Probably not the best. I think we're just trying to get in range of our ult. Okay, so like, that's fine, right? Like I don't think we need E there, because I think we could just wait. Now, obviously, we did E to Fire Strike, which is good. So we got some value with it. All right. Sorry, I was yawning. All right, what do we think about that? What do we think about that Fortify? Was that a good Fortify? I think it was. I think it really was. If you didn't Fortify, you're shattered, right? I think that's a great value. That's really, really high value. The Spear, I don't mind. I don't love, but I don't mind. If the intention is to just push Rhino away, sure. But we did end up missing. And even if it did hit him, I don't think it's going to do anything. All right, what do we think about that? What do we think about this E? Look what happens to your Reinhardt. Could you imagine what your Kiriko's thinking right now? Kiriko's freaking out. Their Kiriko's like, oh crap, Ryan's going to die because he's separated. So I think this is a good E. I really do like this. At least we got value with it, right? We miss our spear, that's okay.
10 seconds.
What do we think about that? Right, probably not the best again. But I think I've said it enough times for you to understand. So I'm not going to repeat myself too much. Because I don't want to sound like a repeating record. Alright. Hopefully we get a stagger, that's good. That's really good. That's a good stagger. Alright. Okay, so I think their Ryan just kind of feeds here. Did that spear hit? I don't think it did. Their Ryan feeds, right, gets out of LOS of their healers or their supports. All right, what do you think about that? Right, he's ulting. You ate some of the shots. I think that's pretty acceptable. I think that's a decent E. We're getting kills, using our cooldowns pretty decently. Did we Fortify? Oh, we did. So Ryan just feeds. Now, like, here, I would say, honestly, just E. Push him out even further, because he's, I mean, you know his team's here, right? Right, you know they're playing here, so just push him out this way, and then he definitely dies. I mean, he dies anyway, so it's fine. Just something to think about. Then we kind of suck up some of the damage from Soldier Ult, which is acceptable. Sorry, man, I'm yawning a lot. I think it's acceptable. I don't think that it's the best use, but I think it's acceptable here because you're like basically already winning the team fight. And then we Fortify, which is okay. It's okay. We were at least pretty decently low. Nice job. Nice job. Yep. Good. Good job.
We must prevail. Forward spawn
Okay, that's another good fortify. I think I forgot I was sped. I think that if you didn't fortify her, you probably would have been shattered. It's hard to say. You may have been behind the cover, but I think the intention's good. That's a good E. I like that E, right? You're just trying to get him away from the Bastion. Was that the Bastion? Yeah. So I think that's a good intention to E. I like that. No, we just don't want to be. Yeah. So again, we let our gun. We don't want it. We don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen. Okay, yep, kind of looking around. I think you saw him going this way, right? And you were kind of looking just to make sure. I think that's smart. Okay. Yeah, so we're kind of chilling. Try and get up here, right? Try and get this corner, hold this position, right? This is a good, powerful position for you. So try and get it early. Your team can stay on the bot. I know it's kind of scary, right? Sometimes it's hard to trust your teammates because they do stupid stuff. But just have a little bit of trust in them, or you can even say, "Hey, I'm gonna go take the corner." Just push up a little bit, take the space from them. I don't know if you saw. Did I? Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't know if you saw that. That's okay. Okay, what do we think about this? This shift. Fortify. Spear, probably not the best, right? The fortify is good. Unfortunately, he just misses you, but I think it's good because if he was going to hit you, you wouldn't have been charged, which is a good fortify. That's at least valuable in some aspect. And I think that's a good, perfect, that's exactly what I was talking about, of like, you can use your E to, you know, push him into the corner. What I don't like, though, is I don't like that we turned for the Reinhardt. So we're playing up here. I think what the better option to do is when he charges behind your team like that, what you should do is just run at the backline. Because the truth is, you are going to win the 1v1 against everyone on their team, except for maybe Reinhardt. Well, I mean, you can actually, never mind, I take that back. But Reinhardt is now out of the equation. Your backline can deal with this guy. He's dead, right? So what you do is you just say, hey, Junkrat, hey, Kiriko, hey, Anna, I'm going to run in your face and kill you, right? Imagine you're here, this Anna's trying to, she's like, oh crap, Reinhardt. You just run at her and say, nope, you're not healing your Reinhardt. That Reinhardt's dead, okay? Your backline can take care of that, especially if they have no support. So when Rein charges like that, don't turn. Just run at their backline. Do a little bit of a trade, right? And so now we lose our Moira. We can ult this. Yeah, and another thing is we have ult. We want to make sure we're using it. So like, look what happens, right? He stayed alive because we turned. Now, if we had just pushed on their backline, we could have killed Kiriko, we could have killed Anna, right? And then Ryan would have died, right? This would have been a one-team fight. But we did kind of tunnel on Reinhardt. We're very tunneled. You're going to win 1v1s against squishies, so go after those. And we go for the ult, which is good, but I think it's a little bit late, right? Our team's already dead. Nobody's with you. Nobody's with you. Everybody's dead. Yeah. So, yeah, and I think that's just it. Okay, so, I'm going to wrap this up for you. Just give you a good wrapped up package of what you need to work on. Definitely cooldown usage, right? Especially for Sigma, especially for Orisa. Cooldown usage is going to be big. Now, if you're playing Reinhardt, you know, cooldown usage isn't going to be as important. Obviously, it is important. It's not going to be as important. That more Reinhardt will be more shield management, more corner positioning, stuff like that. And I know you play a lot of Reinhardt. But for these two specific picks, Sigma, Orisa, really focus on your cooldown usage. Don't be using them if you don't need them, right? Make sure that you are thinking about why you're using your cooldowns. And I hope that this video helps you understand about why you should be using them. Because we kind of talked about like Sigma suck, right? It can save you, shielding off Reinhardt's, shielding just for protection. rocking, if a Reinhardt's charging you down, especially in that matchup, stuff like that. Same thing with Orisa, using her spin to stay alive, to displace people, but make sure the displacement is necessary. It takes them out of the fight, so like out of the line of sight of their supports, right? So cooldown usage is going to be a big one. And then I didn't talk about it much because I think cooldown usage is the bigger problem right now, but positioning is going to be something that I really want you to focus on too. So first is your cooldown usage. Second is going to be your positioning. Whenever you're taking a fight, I want you to ask yourself, what corner am I playing at? You need some sort of natural cover. So natural cover is going to be any sort of wall or something like that, any sort of object in the game that you can use as cover that they can't shoot through, So when you're taking a fight, have natural cover. Because honestly, like, it helps you stay alive. Okay, let's say your supports are screwing around doing something, and they're not really helping you. Well, you gotta find a way to get around that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna play natural cover. It's gonna allow you to stay alive for just a little bit longer, and then maybe your supports can heal you, right? So just stuff like that. The longer you stay alive, the more value you get. So use your cooldowns effectively to get value with them. So think about what they do, and then you can ask yourself, like, hey, I know that Sigma, his shift, sucks up damage. So I should probably use it when I need to block damage. Or, right, and also it gives me health. It gives me overhealth. So maybe I should use it when I'm low. So just be thinking about that. How can I use my cooldowns and get as much value as you can with them, right? Because we used a lot of cooldowns just willy-nilly. We're just kind of throwing them out. And then position around corners. Find a wall, something. Take a fight there so that when you need it, you can back up behind that and try and stick close to them at all times. And I think if you do those things, you're going to really, really climb, because those are some really fundamental things. So anyway, if you enjoyed watching this video, you enjoy my coaching, I am offering free coaching. You can Discord message me. I'll have my private personal Discord in the description, or you can join my Discord community that I talked about at the beginning of the video. I will also have that in the description. You can message me on that community, or you can message me personally. And completely free. The only thing I ask is that you let me post it to YouTube. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment. Let this guy know any tips that you have for the heroes he played, or just tips in general for tank. Things that I may have missed, because I'm not perfect and I miss things too. Yeah, leave a like. And I know for a fact that the majority of my viewers are not subscribed, and I would really, really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. It really does mean a lot. Recently, you guys have been so supportive. I loved your comments. You guys are just supportive of me and what I'm doing, and really encouraging to me, so I appreciate that. So anyway, this has been Coach Aaron, so peace out.